Hi guys, this is Barb Peterson with FarmWars.info, and I just had to take to the waves today to just get something off my chest. Lately I've been writing about the little bit of hypocrisy that I see going on. Okay, what we've got is, I'll just get straight to the point. The Institute for Responsible Technology is sponsored by Silk. Okay, now Silk is owned by White Wave Foods. White Wave also owns Land O'Lakes, which has forage genetics. Now, in Washington, we have just had a recent case of alfalfa, which Forage Genetics, which partnered with Monsanto, just got through releasing, completely unregulated. And of course, everybody knew, if they know anything about GMOs, that alfalfa was going to spread like wildfire. So we were going to have GMO alfalfa all over the place. Well, one farmer just got zapped. In other words, he tried to sell his alfalfa and he wasn't able to because the purchaser found genetic contamination, genetically engineered GMO alfalfa in his supposedly normal crop. We knew this was going to happen. Okay, this is a direct result of Forage Genetics and Land O'Lakes. Now, I just received an email today. It was from Cornucopia Institute, in which they said, labeling, I-522, Washington State labeling. We're going to go ahead and, put this on the ballot on November 4th or 5th, and they're going to be having this up so people can decide the right to know if they're going to be eating genetically modified foods. Well, that's another story, and I've posted an article about my thoughts on this type of thing at farmwars.info. However, the really interesting part of this is, and why I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys, is the fact that they've got this gigantic graphic and it says who are the sponsors and who are the guys who are fighting against and paying big bucks so that this doesn't pass. Well, guess what shows up? Silk, of course, owned by White Wave. And Silk just happens to sponsor the Institute for Responsible Technology, who just happens to be listed at the bottom of the email blast as being one of the donors for I-522 labeling. So my question is Jeffrey Smith taking the funds that he is receiving from his Silk sponsorship, who is avidly against GMO labeling, and putting it towards promoting GMO labeling? I mean, is he like breaking even on this? I mean, are we just supposed to accept this? I mean, this is like hypocritical, to say the least. Excuse me. Does anybody else have a problem with this? Because, quite frankly, I haven't heard from a whole lot of people getting up in arms about this. If you're in both camps, isn't that a little bit of a problem? Does anybody even care? Does anybody even notice?